Here we are discussing about SLET. It means simple limbal epithelial transplantation. It is done most commonly for limbal stem cell deficiency. First, let us learn a little about limbal stem cells. So this is our cornea. It is a little rugged. Let me make it circular. This is a cornea. Okay. And sclera starts here. Okay. Let's assume that this is cornea and this is sclera. So now there is a transition zone between cornea and sclera. We know that the lamella in cornea, they are arranged parallelly, while in sclera they are arranged randomly. So this is a zone of transition which we call as limbus. It basically consists of epithelial cells which have crypts in them where lies our stem cells, and these are called Vought's palisade, the palisade of Vought. Okay. So what are the conditions which can cause limbal stem cell deficiency? First of all, what these stem cells do, they cause epithelial regeneration. There is an epithelial turnover rate after every 3 to 4 days. So what produces new epithelium? These stem cells. Okay. So what are the conditions which may cause the stem cell deficiency? The most common is ocular burns. This is the most common disease for which, not a disease, this is the most common ocular injury for which SLET is done. Other might be chemical injury leading to limbal ischemia. Other is Stevens-Johnson syndrome, or there may be iatrogenic causes of limbal stem cell deficiency like large surgeries, etc. So these are common indications for SLET. So is there any other method by which limbal stem cell deficiency can be tackled? So conventionally, people used to do what is known as CLAU. It is a conventional method and it stands for conjunctival limbal autograft. In this, two conjunctival as well as limbal lenticules were taken from the contralateral eye and they were placed limbus to limbus and then the conjunctival part to the conjunctiva on the diseased eye. So what happened was the growth took place. See, so this is the limbus part, so there will be stem cells. So the growth will be starting from these region. Okay. So this will be these will be the directions of growth for this particular point, and similarly for this particular point, these are the directions of growth. Similarly for any point. Okay, because direction will be in growth will be in all the directions. So these are the directions. So what happened was, due to such lenticule, there was basically least amount of growth. This area took longest to grow epithelium over. So this is the seeing area. Okay, so there was visual restoration that was very late. Plus we needed a very large tissue also for this procedure. So another method that came into existence was CLET, stands for cultivated limbal epithelial transplant. what is cultivated, as you can understand from the name itself that a 2 into 2 mm limbus was excised from the contralateral eye, and then it was grown in a laboratory with a culture media. So this is basically ex vivo, or what we call as in vitro. So what we need for such procedures? A laboratory setting. And obviously for a bigger graft to grow, you know what is the main intention was? To expand this 2 mm into a bigger graft. So we need a larger period of time. So this was not feasible for all the centers. So then came into existence what is known as SLET, Simple Limbal Epithelial Transplant. It came into existence in 2012 and was invented by Dr. V.S. Sangwan. What he did was very ingenious. He took 1 clock hour of the limbal tissue, that is 2 into 2 mm, from the contralateral eye, and he cut this tissue by a non-toothed forceps into 6 to 10 parts. Then, in the diseased eye, what he did, see, let's suppose there is a lot of pannus over this eye. This is a diseased eye, a lot of due to chemical injury or ocular burn. So first, what is to be done is, this pannus is to be removed. Also, so this is, let's suppose, this is the layer of conjunctiva that is accompanying this pannus. So this sclera has also to be made bare. So now this is the cut part that we have cut till here. There's a large bare scleral area. Okay. Now what is to be done? Over this, we place human amniotic membrane. Okay. So now this is our cornea, and this is the cut part of the conjunctiva, and this is the sclera. So now this is our amniotic membrane. We will place full amniotic membrane graft over here, and with the help of fibrin glue, and these edges are tucked inside. Okay. Now what is to be done? Now over this, we place this limbus, the cut part of these 6 to 10 parts that we did cut. Now these are placed in mid peripheral cornea. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's suppose that this is a small cornea and we are done in 7 parts. So where did we place it? Mid peripheral cornea. And then we put little drops of fibrin glue so that it sticks to the base, and then we apply BCL, a large BCL preferably. So what happens in this setting is that there is a differential growth. Now see, this will grow in all directions, this will grow in all directions, this will grow in all directions, likewise. Okay, so this center is no longer the area which will grow at the last. Okay, so this means that this gives equal growth in all directions, and plus we have human amniotic membrane which provides a very good base for growth. Plus, it also releases some growth factors of its own. Okay, this is not girlfriend, this is growth factor. Right. So now what now? So this BCL has to be applied till almost a week, and patient has to be put on steroid eye drop and what else? Antibiotic eye drop. So this is basically the post-op care. See what happens if the contralateral eye is not healthy. Then we will not take graft from contralateral eye. Big no. So what happens if we have to take graft? Have to take allogenic graft, or cadaveric graft. Can we do this? Yeah, there are certain studies people have done this, but you have to keep the patient on pulse IV methylprednisolone for the fear of rejection. What are the complications that may occur? Of course, the most common complication is failure. That is the recurrence of Lambert stem cell deficiency. Okay, other complications like dislocation of graft or of amniotic membrane, these are rare complications. Okay, thank you.